Hi everyone. So we're talking today about the miracle of water. Now, it sounds a bit crazy, doesn't it, to actually do a YouTube video on water, but I just find it absolutely miraculous and I wanted to share some of it with you. It really ties in with your positive thoughts and feelings, and for anybody who wants to make a change. Now, we're in great times of transformation anyway, and so anything that we can actually adopt in action to assist us in having good health, in abundance of love and funds to do things with, enabling attitudes, anything really has got to be a good thing. And we're missing a trick here mostly for those that don't know about this miracle that water is. So I just wanted to spend a bit of time with you today actually letting you know what it is and how you can make use of this amazing body element that is water. Now, I'm going to put my glasses on because I've written a few things down I wanted to share with you. It's known as the most common substance on Earth, and it's around 80% of the Earth. You know, if you think of our planet as a living entity, which, as you know, with my energy updates every month, I believe it is. It's very much like we as a body. So you've got Earth as a body, and if you imagine those lovely pictures from outer space of our beautiful blue planet, you can see the oceans, you can see the rivers and the tributaries, and it's very much alike to our physical body with our veins and our arteries, capillaries that run through the heart of the human frame, that run to the ocean, the heart of the planet. And there's been some amazing sort of scientific studies done on water, really only over the last sort of 50, 60 years. And many indigenous people really understand, and we know from studying what they already know, that the mother of waters, the best, the cleanest, the most vibrant, the most life-giving are the springs, are where the water actually comes out of Mother Earth and is filtered and infused with trace elements and minerals and magic of the earth, and up comes a bubble of a spring, and it makes its way, it meanders, doesn't it? It's not straight lines and curves like it is with our pipe systems mostly. It meanders through a natural form and over rocks and builds up through the clean air and gives you life-giving properties. Now, it's interesting that our bodies are made up of 70 to actually 98% of water, depending on your age. They've done some research to find out sort of what these tribes who lived in various parts of the world, why they live so long and without many of the diseases we have. And one of the main reasons is their water, and how clean and how vibrant and how much in harmony it is. Now, I don't know about you, but if you live in a city, a lot of cities these days are actually a closed loop of water. So whatever goes down the drains or various plug holes in our homes actually goes through the system of being filtered by man-made filters. And then that water that's had all of that stuff, toxic stuff, dumped into it, is then actually filtered and brought back to us through pipes into our water that we turn our taps on to receive. Chemicals like chlorine are added in many of the Western, many of the world's cities worldwide, to keep it clean of bacteria, but it also has an effect on the energy and the life-giving properties that water is. So don't get too depressed about that, because I've got an actual sort of way of altering that, which I'm going to share with you in a moment. So it's good to actually do something about that water. If you're living off that water, you know, you can actually just leave your glass of water for 20 minutes and the chlorine will dissipate somewhat, but traces of other things are still sometimes found in there. So there's 2 easy ways that I'll share with you at the end of this of how to actually change that structure, because you can actually do that. You can change the structure and bring into harmony any water that you pick up anywhere. And this was done, there was an amazing experiment done in the 1960s in a lab in Germany. I was watching this last night on the Gaia channel, and it said they were doing some experiments with poison, and there was a sealed ampule that was dropped into pure water. And it was a mistake, and the person who made the mistake didn't want to own up to it. We've all been there, done that a bit, haven't we? And anyway, it was left there for what appeared to be 3 days. When it was found, they thought, well, there's no harm done because the ampule with the poison in was still intact. But for some reason, they used that water to feed the laboratory mice that they were also using at the time, and they all died. So they immediately tested the water and found that it was chemically pure. So this led to them, putting forward the idea that water actually has memory, that water can remember, and it picks up both positive and negative influences from the environment it's in. Further studies were done literally by some Russian scientists who were talking about that if you've got like a glass which has got stuff which is quite straight lines, and then you've got a plastic bottle which is not straight, even the shape of the containers as well as what the containers are made out of has an impact on the harmony and the life-giving force that water is. So water isn't just water. To bring it into the miraculous and harmonic state for our own well-being takes just a couple of minutes of your time. So I thought this was good too. Leonardo da Vinci said, water assumes a special character as many times as there are different places that it flows. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Dr. Masaru Emoto. You can see this box is very well used. It contains some beautiful cards which are from his book, which is called The Hidden Messages in Water. I totally and utterly recommend you get that if you're interested in this, The Hidden Messages in Water. And he actually did lots of different experiments on water taken from all different parts of the world, and rivers and places that were full of toxins and places that were very clear natural springs and lakes and rivers and the sea and all sorts of different things. And he used a way of freezing the water, keeping it at -5 degrees Celsius, and then he would use a special camera that is a microscopic one that would take photographs as it was actually warming up. And they noticed that as it was warming up, it started to produce hexagons, that many of the actual crystals in the water were based on harmony, on the hexagon shape. And so they did loads and loads and loads of experiments, and I've got some of those to show you here out of the cards. I just thought they were just absolutely fascinating. So this one, what they took them from various, power spots in the world, like Stonehenge and Machu Picchu and various things like that. They went on with their experiments to actually sit with some water and imbue in the water. So we take it and we say a prayer, or we bless it, or we have a really good feeling of hope, thankfulness and gratitude. And as we're holding that, we put that into the water. So my intention is to infuse the water in this glass with my thoughts and my emotions really that are attached to any of those thoughts. So any harmony that you can produce changes the quality and the harmony of this water, because water absorbs frequency and it changes its shape depending on what frequency is put into the water. So as well as these wonderful, gorgeous, positive statements, research was done on the word hate or disharmonic music, as well as like Mozart and Brahms. And if you're interested, we'll put the link in below to Massimo's research. But I wanted to show you prayer, just the power of prayer. And then also the next one to show you, which I thought was quite interesting. It looks, actually, it's thank you. And it looks like it's got a happy face in the middle. Another one is gratitude. Another one is love. Another one is love and thanks. Thank you. So water is affected by anything it's kept in, and it's affected by the emotions of humans around it. So I found that fascinating, because we've been one in our family to bless our food and to bless our water before we imbibe. And I think, gosh, imagine the difference and the nutrient value in that compared to if you're sitting down and having an argument with somebody whilst having some sort of liquid or food. What's that doing to your health? Or maybe some angry internal thoughts or negative type of thoughts as you're, nourishing yourself with the food and the drink that you need to survive. I thought it was worth a thought, because we're looking to get our health in order. We're looking for creative ideas for new beginnings. We're looking for this joining in with this transformation age into Aquarius. We're looking to build a better life on earth. So to cherish, to bless, to bring into harmony, to recognize, to be grateful, to love the element of water might not be a bad place to start, especially as you're mostly made up of it. One of the things that the research that I read actually brought into my awareness was that love, and we're always going on about love, but love was the highest frequency and the clearest crystal that they actually found. And fetuses, they've done experiments with fetuses and newborns, and they find that that's when we're all fetus, we're 98 to 99% water. And when we're born, the moment we're born, we represent, the crystals from a blood supply represent the same formation of the crystal of love. So we're often saying that we're born as love. All we know as a newborn is love. We are love. And most of our human journey is waking up and remembering that. And they're returning to a place of self-love, of honouring the love that you are. And in so doing, as a 70-80% being of water, we therefore by looking after and blessing ourselves, by looking after and putting ourselves into a hopeful state, into a loving state, into a happy state, into a joyful state, makes a difference to our environment, makes a difference to the people around us. Because as we look after and embody the harmony that we are as 70-80% water, it therefore has an impact on others around us. So it's no selfish matter to actually look after yourself first, is it? So I'd be really, really interested for you to put in the notes fields below in the comments about if any of these photographs, which one actually really resonated for you. We're going to put them up separately again in a moment so that you can actually really have a look at that and really take in the word and the meaning and the healing that you'll definitely receive by having a look at these few that we've selected. But I am going to leave you on one of them, which is a dolphin. And you know, we do run beautiful Enchanted Lands retreats around the world. And they've been on hold for a little while with our pandemic that we're in. But one of the deepest joys is going to Wild Quest in Bimini in the Bahamas and swimming with wild dolphins. Well, floating around really in the water and just seeing if they want to come and play. And one thing that the dolphins have taught me is joy, deep healing through surrendering to what is, and love. And you know, when you're swimming in the waters of beings like dolphins who really know how to live well, and the enormous wisdom of whales, you can't help but be immersed in that environment and be healed through it. In fact, if anybody's interested in that, we'll have to see how it all goes, but we do have a slot for a week in June this year if anybody fancies some sunshine and swimming with us with dolphins. We're going to do our very best to see if life can accommodate us there. We'll put a link into that below too if you're interested. So water, 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 the miracle of water, you are it. Now, some of you I know really need to actually see a physical example of what this actually is. And one of the experiments when I've been teaching healing and vibrational medicine over the last 20 odd years now, is I've always asked people to sort of produce their own proof of the pudding, as it were. And intention and healing energy has a great deal to do with this. And so it's our attitude towards life. So Massimo Emoto, what he did was he got three sort of glasses, if you like. You could use 3 glasses, put some rice in. So the rice was from the same packet on the same day. And he covered the rice with water that was from the same source each day to fill it up, sort of keep it covered, keep the rice covered, and from the same jug. So he got a jug of water and he covered the rice on the same day at the same time. And then he actually put different intentions into the 3 pots. One was hello, and I like you. The middle one, he put dislike, hate, horrible stuff in. And the third one he completely ignored. He ignored it completely. And each day he'd fill up with the same amount of water. So he did this generalized experiment. And what he found after 3 weeks was the first one, where he paid some loving hello, happy attention to, is it fermented and had a very sweet smell to it. The second one went black. So the one where all the negative emotions were going in, it actually went black. And the third one went really mouldy, smelly and horrible. And from his conclusion, his own conclusion from that is that we as humans all need some attention. We all need some kindness from each other and to each other. And he was particularly concerned about our children and the fact that if we ignore them and we're angry all of the time, what does that do to a person that's been born with love? So his request was spend time with each other, even if it's like we're doing now or by a distance. Be kind, be loving, and definitely pay attention to the children. Be with the children so they feel loved and they can grow into that sweetness. Another experiment we did in healing was basically to do this with carrots really in water, and you can do this. They've got the roots in the water, and again you can ignore one. You can send loving intention and healing to the other, and you can just do it with the two. Just ignore one and then put all your goodness and loving stuff into the other one and see what happens. In most of our own experiments, you end up with clear water still, with the carrot that's kind of been planted in the water with loving intent, and the roots grow very healthily. And then the other one that's ignored and left, the water goes very smelly and very smoky coloured, and it definitely doesn't grow very well. So so do your own experiments, prove it for yourself if that's what you need. Look up the research if that's what you need. But basically, this is about you blessing. That's the trick. There is no main trick. It's just taking water. This has just come out of the tap here. We're on a borehole, thankfully here. But we bless it anyway. Bless your water to bring it into harmony. There's been lots of research done on a group of people coming together and doing blessings to a bowl of water, and testing it before and after, and that the fact that you have the intention of blessing, of returning to harmony, alters the crystalline structure of the water back into harmony. One of the things I'd like to leave you with today is I have a very old, ancient actually, sound bowl, a bowl that comes from Nepal that was handmade a long time ago. And some of these bowls, when you fill it with water and you strike them or you play them, they produce certain geometric shapes and the water changes. So on that happy note, I thought I'd leave you with an example of that. I wish you well. Lots of love, everybody. Bless your water. Say a prayer or make a wish before you drink it. You are that power. You are that health. You are that abundance. Put those wishes in there, in your body, outside of your body. We are the miracle of water. God bless. Lots of love. Bye for now. So this is a Tibetan singing bowl, and I've just put some water in it, sitting there quite calmly at the moment. And this is just an example of frequencies. So as we play the bowl, obviously the ripples will form, and I'll keep playing it, and some of you might see the geometry that comes of it. add some love and healing to be sent to you all as you're watching this, in full gratitude of life itself.